Hey friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. We are the podcast that turns your ideas into an amazing adventure every single day. You know, we couldn't even exist without imaginations from kids just like you. So if you have an idea for a story, I'd love to see it. Check down in the show notes below for how you can submit your own story idea, and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. And parents, if you're new to kids podcasting, I want to challenge you to listen to podcasting for 5 days in a row with your kids. It's going to increase their imagination, decrease screen time, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! Enzo and Nova were exploring the Pacific Ocean on a scuba diving adventure. They kicked their flippers and puffed the bubbles through the water from the air in their oxygen tanks. Bright-colored fish swam the water all around them. Whoa! Look at those yellow ones! And that orange one! They took turns pointing out different fish as they continued swimming. They swam through some large seaweed and into a wall of bright blue. Enzo, look at that school of fish! Nova shouted through the radio in her diving helmet. The bright blue wall of fish floated in front of them as they swam in place. Enzo spun, looking all around before answering. A fish school? Where? Nova laughed. Not a school of fish. It's what a big group of fish is called. She swam towards the school of bright blue fish, and they wiggled their fins even faster, trying to get out of the way. Enzo swam after Nova, chasing the last of the fish away. They were having fun, but stopped in surprise when they saw what the school of fish had been blocking. The dark mouth of a sea cave now stood in front of them. Whoa, said Enzo. He swam slowly toward the opening. He shone his underwater flashlight inside, and something glittered deep inside the cave. What is that? He exclaimed, waving to Nova. She swam over and saw the glittering gold, red, and purple that was reflecting off of Enzo's flashlight. Do you think it's a treasure? She asked. Enzo nodded excitedly. Yeah, let's go get it! Then he swam into the dark mouth of the cave and disappeared from sight. Nova hesitated for a moment. She was brave and adventurous, but something didn't seem quite right. Still, Nova pulled out her flashlight and followed Enzo. Hold on a second, friends. Do you think this is like a good idea of them swimming into an underwater ocean cave? Oh, it sounds a little creepy. I don't know, would you do it? I don't know if I would. As soon as both kids disappeared into the cave, oh dear. I don't know if I can read this next part. Do you want me to say the next part? Okay. Giant tentacles appeared over the cave entrance. Jimmy, the Kraken, was returning from lunch. He had left the cave in chase of some tasty fish and was back to continue guarding his treasure. No one ever dared to enter Jimmy's cave or even come anywhere close to it. All of the sea creatures in the Pacific Ocean were very afraid of him, and no scuba divers had ever explored this far into the ocean before. It was the perfect place for him to hide all the treasure he stole from pirate ships. Jimmy settled down in front of his cave, keeping watch on the fish and whales that swam by. Oh dear, Jimmy had no idea that while he was gone, Nova and Enzo had already gone into his cave while he wasn't looking, in search of his treasure. Nova and Enzo continued using their flashlights to guide them around the stalagmites and stalactites of the cave. They could see the bright jewels of crowns and golden bars shimmering ahead. Wow. I can't believe they actually did find, underwater treasure. That would be so cool. Enzo reached the treasure first and began to dig through it. He pulled out a pair of boots covered in diamonds. Cool! Then he tossed a cup made of gold to Nova. Together, Enzo and Nova grabbed as much treasure as they could. When their arms could hold no more, they swam back toward the opening in the cave. Are we going the right way? Enzo asked Nova. It's so dark everywhere. Where's the opening? Nova is showing her flashlight around, but she couldn't find it either. I thought it was this way, but there's no light coming from anywhere. Let's keep going. Come on, it has to be this way. So the two kept swimming in the direction they had come until they were facing a dead end. No way! There wasn't a wall here before, Enzo said. He examined it closer in the light of his flashlight. Nova, why is this wall white and pink? Enzo poked it. And squishy. Nova swam over and gave it a closer look. From the top of the dark gray cave walls to the bottom of the sandy cave floor, a white and pink wall had appeared while they were exploring. What is this? Nova wondered. Her and Enzo both poked it again, trying to figure out what it was. This time, the wall moved at their touch. Enzo poked it again and it grumbled in response. He gave it one. Why is he poking it all these times? Hasn't he figured out that it's a sea monster? Enzo poked it one more time, this time very hard. And a massive tentacle appeared from the bottom of the strange wall, waving around wildly towards Enzo and Nova. Ah, swim away! Nova called out to Enzo, but it was too late. One of the large suckers on the tentacle latched onto Enzo, trapping him. The tentacle began to curl around him and pull away back under the bottom of the pink and white wall. Enzo! Nova shouted. She pounded on the squishy wall, trying to follow him. Suddenly, another tentacle appeared, scooping her up and pulling her under the wall as well. Oh dear. What in the world is going to happen to Enzo and Nova? Did they just get eaten? I'm not sure what is going to happen. We are going to have to wait and see what happens on the next episode of Kids Short Stories. Great job. You listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is. It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say hey to Madya from Indonesia, Lewis, Eddie, and Jones from Oregon, Carter from New Hampshire, Luca from Rhode Island, another Luca from California, and Charlie from Illinois. I'm so glad that you're all on our Kid Short Stories family. We could not have this much fun with imagination without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye!